The morning I woke up choking on diesel smoke and saw 6 cement trucks parked across my private driveway. I honestly thought I was still half dreaming, like my brain just refused to process something that's stupid happening in real life. I stood there in the Arizona dawn, barefoot, coffee going cold in my hand, breathing in exhaust thick enough to taste, staring at machines big enough to crush a car. And I remember thinking, asterisk no, there's just no way someone's dumb enough to do this on my land. Asterisk. Then I saw Gabriel Walsh standing there with her clipboard and that pageant smile she used like a weapon, and she said, "Relax, sweetie. Your driveway is community property now." And just like that, everything snapped into focus. Two things hit me at once. First, she absolutely was that stupid, and second, she was about to have the most expensive week of her life. My name's Wade Carpenter. I was 48 when this happened, and for most of my life, I made a living coaxing life out of dirt that doesn't want it. Irrigation systems, desert installs, water pressure, valves, zones. I know what keeps things alive in Arizona, and more importantly, I know exactly what happens when someone starts messing with systems they don't understand. My wife Sarah used to joke that I trusted sprinkler maps more than people, and yeah, she wasn't wrong. Sarah had been gone 2 years by then, cancer, fast and brutal, the kind that empties your savings and leaves silence sitting in every room afterward. After she died, it was just me and my daughter Sophia in the house we built together on 5 acres at the edge of sagebrush estates. Every rose bush out there had Sarah's fingerprints on it. Every irrigation line had a story. So every morning at 6 o'clock, I'd step outside with coffee and check water pressure. Not because I had to, but because some routines keep you anchored. You know what I mean? When everything else falls apart, you hold on to the things that still make sense. That morning, the gauge wasn't the first thing I saw. It was the trucks. 3 at first, then 6 by the end of the week, parked like they owned the place. They blocked my garage completely. My work van, trapped. Sophia's car, trapped. Which meant missed jobs, missed school, missed everything. And in my line of work, springtime lost hours aren't just inconvenient, they're expensive. But what really got me wasn't the inconvenience. It was the damage. Truck tires had crushed 3 main sprinkler lines Sarah and I installed together. I crouched down in the gravel and watched water push up through the dirt in little angry bubbles. And those pipes, they didn't just look broken. They looked asterisk familiar. Asterisk like something personal had been snapped. Those weren't just lines. Those were Sunday afternoons with Sarah in the dirt, arguing over drip coverage for the roses. Those were laughing under the mesquite tree with a pencil tucked behind her ear. And now they were crushed flat under someone else's problem. I walked over to Gabriel's little construction trailer and told her straight. "Move the trucks. My daughter can't get out. My property's being damaged. This stops now." She didn't even look up. "Oh, sweetie," she said, tapping her pen, "this is for the community good. Don't be difficult." That word, difficult, it stuck. Sarah used to say, one day somebody would mistake my patience for weakness. Standing there listening to Gabriel tell me I was difficult for wanting access to my own driveway, I remember thinking, asterisk, yeah, today might be that day. Asterisk. So that night, I stopped reacting, and I started digging. Permits, equipment logs, rental markings, county filings, all the boring little details people like Gabriel rely on nobody checking. And sure enough, those trucks weren't just staging for the HOA pool. She was renting space on my land, rotating commercial trucks through like a storage yard, charging contractors, making money off my driveway while calling it community improvement. She wasn't disorganized. She was running a business. When I showed Sophia, she didn't hesitate. Want me to document everything. That's my girl. Within days, she had plates, schedules, company names, even patterns I hadn't noticed. Trucks rotated in shifts. Weekends were different crews. It was organized, deliberate. And then Gabriel got greedy. One Friday, I came home and saw an asphalt crew paving right across my front yard. Not near it, not along the edge. Right through it. The heat hit like an oven blast. The smell. God, that smell. Hot tar and dust. And something underneath it that made my stomach drop. Then I saw where they were paving. Sarah's memorial garden. The roses I planted after she died, gone under 6 inches of blacktop, while some guy shrugged and said the clipboard lady approved it. When I found Gabriel and told her what she'd done, she actually sighed, and said, "Progress requires sacrifice." I still hear that sentence sometimes. That was the moment everything changed. This stopped being about HOA nonsense. Stopped being about inconvenience. That was personal. I filed a police report. Civil matter. Insurance? Same answer. Gabriel knew exactly where the line was, how to stay just on the edge of illegal while hiding behind paperwork. And worse, the neighborhood started turning on me. To them, she was improving things. I was the difficult widower causing tension. I sat at the kitchen table one night, staring at old photos of Sarah's garden, wondering if fighting back was just making things worse. Sophia came in, looked at the pictures, and said quietly, "Mom would hate seeing you let a bully make you think you're the problem." Yeah, that hit. Next morning, I dug through Sarah's old files and found a manila envelope labeled "Property Documents Important." I almost didn't open it, but inside, buried in the deed, was one line that changed everything. Exclusive gate rights. Authority to restrict vehicular traffic when necessary to protect the property. I took it to the county office. The clerk confirmed the rest. The old access easement the neighborhood relied on expired, never renewed. Legally, every single truck crossing my land was trespassing. I called my neighbor Jim, retired cop, sharp mind, and he read the paperwork, leaned back, and started laughing. "Wade, you don't just own the land. You own the choke point." That was it. Everything depended on access. So I stopped thinking like a victim and started thinking like a systems guy. I installed an industrial hydraulic gate. Steel posts, reinforced panels, deep-set anchors. Expensive as hell, but necessary. Tied it into a programmable system. Timed it like irrigation zones. Precise. Controlled. Unforgiving. Meanwhile, my attorney Patricia lined up the legal side, and Sophia built the evidence stack. Gabriel kept pushing, even tried to find me for the gate with a fake HOA violation sign by herself. That just gave us more proof. Then she scheduled her biggest concrete pour. Friday. 8 trucks. Tight timing. Concrete doesn't wait. At 2 p.m. sharp, I hit the button. That gate closed like a vault. 3 loaded trucks were already inside. The rest stuck outside. Within minutes, Gabriel came storming over. No more sweet voice, just rage. "Open this gate immediately." I stepped out, calm as I'd been in weeks. "Afternoon, Gabriel." She was screaming by then. Hostage, illegal, dangerous. But for the first time, she was the one under pressure. "I'm exercising my property rights," I told her. Then the county fire inspector showed up. Perfect timing, thanks to Jim. He looked at the blocked access, the trucks, the violations, and called them pound. That's when everything flipped. Neighbors stopped seeing me as the problem and started seeing the truth. Phones came out, and then Sophia asked if we should show the footage. I said yes. So right there at the neighborhood barbecue, we played everything. The trucks, the damage, the staging operation, and finally, Gabriel's own voice. Progress requires sacrifice. The silence after that, you could feel it. That wasn't rumor anymore. That was her. Impound trucks rolled in. Concrete hardened in the mixers. Thousands of dollars turning into useless stone. And I said the only thing that mattered. All I did was close my gate. 6 weeks later, the settlement came down. Trespass. Damages. Injunction. Gabriel resigned. The HOA got cleaned out. New leadership came in. People who actually read documents before trying to rewrite reality. I used the settlement money to rebuild Sarah's garden. New roses. Different but strong. Sophia's project won statewide recognition. And one morning, not long after, I stepped outside at 6 o'clock with my coffee and heard it again. That soft hiss. Water moving through healthy lines. Pressure steady. No diésel. No alarms. No lies. Just water finding its way. So let me ask you this. If someone in your neighborhood started calling theft community improvement, would you have fought back the way I did? Or would you have kept the peace just a little too long? And where do you draw that line between compromise and surrender when the person pushing you is smiling the whole time. Drop your take. I'm serious. Because a lot of people out there don't realize they're one clipboard away from learning this lesson the hard way.